Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and in today's video, I will be going over the new 4K Ultra HD pre-orders and announcements for June 16th, 2023. Now keep in mind, release dates and technical specs are subject to change. If there are any changes or additional retailer exclusives, I will update them in a future video. Also, be sure to check out my previous 4K pre-order videos for titles you may be looking for and were not covered here. Direct Amazon links to the titles listed in the video can be found on the channel's community page. In last week's video, Two Guns on 4K was announced for August 1st. Well, it looks like a steelbook has since popped up, and it is going to be scheduled on the same day. Now, it looks like, as of right now, it's currently only available at Best Buy. I couldn't determine if it was 100% an exclusive to the site, but I wasn't able to find it anywhere else locally, at least here in the States. So right now, you can head on over to Best Buy and pre-order your copy. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this one to be official, as on August 8th, Enter the Dragon, starring the late great Bruce Lee, will be arriving on 4K. This slipcover edition will support HDR and Dolby Atmos, and I believe this applies to both cuts of the film. The Amazon pre-order link is live over on my community page, so head on over to secure your copy. On the same day, an exclusive Best Buy Steelbook edition of the film will also be made available. This is also currently live over at Best Buy's website. Lionsgate will be re-releasing one of their 4K editions as an exclusive Best Buy Steelbook, as on August 8th, Ender's Game will be getting the Steelbook treatment over at Best Buy. The tech specs look to be the same as the release several years ago, so that means HDR and Dolby Atmos. On August 15th, the animated feature Babylon 5: The Road Home will be arriving on 4K. Now, tech specs have not officially been announced, but considering this is being released by Warner Brothers and typically their animated films only support HDR, and I would suspect DTS 5.1. But if that changes, I will update that in a future video. I am a huge fan of the Babylon 5 series, and I'll be definitely checking this one out. With the official release date being confirmed and the cover art, Roman Holiday will be arriving on August 15th. HDR and Dolby Vision are expected, and the same Dolby True HD audio track from the previous Blu-ray. Shout Factory's 4K release of the film Hackers was announced in a video or two ago. Well, it looks like a steelbook has since popped up, and it only appears to be available at Best Buy. It is scheduled for release on August 22nd, and the pre-order is now live. As part of the Paramount's Presents line, August 29th, we'll have the 4K release of the film Hustle and Flow. HDR and Dolby Vision are expected. No word yet on the audio, if it's the same as the previous Blu-ray or they're going to upgrade it to Atmos. On August 29th, looks like the 4K edition of Infinity Pool, the uncut version, will be arriving at retailers. This one was pretty interesting, a little bit of a drama, as it was started out to be a 4K from Target, and then Amazon listed it as a Blu-ray, and then it changed the artwork to Blu-ray, and now it is officially going to be a 4K. You can head on over to your various online retailers to pick this one up, and it is confirmed to support HDR and DTS audio. On August 30th, it looks like a 4K edition of the film The Legend of Boggy Creek will be arriving. As of right now, it looks to be a certain website exclusive, and it will support HDR and Dolby Digital audio. No word yet if this will get a wide release, but I will put the link to the film in the comments section below. This week, Criterion announced their September releases, and I gotta say, there's some pretty interesting stuff. First up, The Princess Bride will be arriving on 4K September 5th. HDR and Dolby Vision have been confirmed, and the same DTS from the previous Blu-ray. On September 12th, the 4K edition of Walkabout will be arriving from the Criterion Collection. Per Criterion's website, HDR and Dolby Vision are expected for the grading and a mono audio track. I've had this Blu-ray sitting in my wish list for a long time, so I'll definitely be picking up the 4K when it's available in September. September 19th will bring us the Orson Welles film The Trial on 4K. Unfortunately, it does not look like any HDR grading will be included for this release, and the audio track will be mono. I am personally looking forward to checking this one out, and once again available on September 19th. And for Criterion's last 4K release for the month of September, it looks like the 4K edition of Moon Age Daydream will be arriving from Criterion. Unfortunately, once again, no HDR is expected, but Dolby Atmos for the audio will be included. And this release is scheduled for September 26th. Arriving sometime in early fall, Severin will have the 4K edition of the film Bad Biology. I wasn't able to find tech specs, but I would think that HDR would be included and possibly DTS audio. With DC's film The Flash hitting theaters today, it looks like 4K pre-orders are starting to roll out, and the first one that I could find was Best Buy's exclusive Steelbook. It's currently up for pre-order over on their website, and I expect other retailers and the general wide release to follow shortly. It looks like in the coming months, Severin will be prepping some 4K releases of some pretty obscure films, and among them will be the 4K edition of Eaten Alive. It also looks like 4Ks are coming for the films The Last Cannibal World and The Mountain Slave of the Cannibal God are also in the pipeline. Stay tuned to the channel when more information becomes available. Transformers Rise of the Beast on 4K now has active pre-orders for both a slipcover and a non-exclusive steelbook. Amazon appears to have an exclusive edition of both Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse only available at that retailer. In my opinion, this doesn't really make a lot of sense considering the third film is going to be out next year, but hey, you know what? You got to make that cheddar, I suppose. So if you want to head on over to Amazon and pick this one up, it is now live for pre-order. Kino Lorber announced this week that 4K edition of Cowboys and Aliens will be arriving sometime, I would assume, in 2024. HDR and Dolby Vision are expected, and DTS audio. Well, it's time to go over some international 4K pre-orders and announcements. And if you're US based, don't forget that most 4K discs are region free, so feel free to import with no problem. Available today in Germany, the 4K edition of Charles Bronson starring in Brutal City will be out in that market. It looks like there are several different media books to choose from, so if you're a fan of the film, you can pick this one up today. Also in Germany, on June 22nd, the 4K of FCK 2020 will be out in that market. HDR has been confirmed, as well as Dolby Atmos audio. Available next week, on June 23rd, the 4K edition of The Deep House will be out in Germany. HDR, Dolby Vision are included, as well as Dolby Atmos audio. Over in the UK, the 4K Steelbook edition of the film Cross of Iron is now currently up for pre-order. I'm still not able to find if HDR will be included in this upcoming release, so if you're interested in picking this one up, I saw it available over at Amazon UK. The UK release of Enter the Dragon starring Bruce Lee is going to be out on August 7th. It will have the same tech specs, which means HDR and Dolby Atmos. In Germany, on August 31st, the 4K edition of Marlowe starring Liam Neeson will be out in that market. On September 6th, it looks like Japan will be getting a Steelbook edition of the film Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it looks to have the same tech specs as the previous releases, which means HDR, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos audio. On September 11th, a limited edition Steelbook of Enter the Dragon looks to be made available in the UK. I saw this up for pre-order briefly last week. As of right now, Amazon UK shows this is sold out, and you may be able to get this one at other retailers. It is very limited, so I expect this one to sell out pretty soon. Over in the UK, on September 25th, the 4K of Touch of Evil will be arriving in that market. As far as I know, it supports HDR and Dolby Vision just like the Kino release and DTS audio. I'm probably going to butcher the name of this one, but sometime in September-October, the 4K edition of Lune Freud will be arriving in France. Once again, I don't have a confirmed release date. It is expected to be in the fall, and it does not, unfortunately, look to support English subtitles. So this is mostly those that speak primarily French, and you can order this one right now. I mentioned in a previous 4K pre-order video that on September 20th, France will be getting the complete Rocky as well as Creed collection in one set. Well, this appears to be the artwork, and the set is now currently live over at Amazon France. The Flash on 4K in international markets is starting to pop up, as a HMV website exclusive steelbook is now currently up for pre-order. So those are this week's 4K pre-orders and announcements for June 16th, 2023. Don't forget, if you're interested in any of the titles I talked about in this video, head on over to my channel's community page and use the direct Amazon links if you're interested. And I also want to hear from you what titles I talked about you're going to be picking up for yourself. And finally, a special thank you to my Patreons. Your continued support is very much appreciated. If you would like to support me through Patreon, I will leave a link in the description of this video. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.